Crashies again. Like, we could talk about the kills, we could talk about that he isn't necessarily on the feed, but he forced them to reposition time and time again. Yeah, I think maybe just a bit of a blip.
What am I doing, bro?
Fnatic finally deciding to play into that icebox. We haven't seen that from them so far.
It's almost just as exciting as seeing those two double duelists within this mirror matchup.
You said very weak investment. It looks like the idea to pressure towards this B side, even just limit testing what they can get away with. TP goes in, no immediate reaction. Starting to get a sense for how those rotations have come through. They pressure Serial up close, but there's the outlaw in full effect. A double from Kiko saves any further damage. Could have gotten dicey if they got control of the site, but Liquid were quick to react.
And as he highlighted, like, he has had an incredible season kickoff. I think not really even arguable that he was the best player. An incredible performance from him individually. Now, very good in these sort of scenarios. We'll see if they can do it in the bonus.
Now we see the outlaw again, but it's swapped hands to give Kiko a rifle. Both of those players end up falling immediately. Fnatic not pulling any punches as Boaster through the smoke drops camo.
Probably shouldn't be the Bulldog, so Serial's going to go looking, but he is found immediately. My highlight is going into this, and it's... Yeah, I think he's just trying to pick off one. It's not worth it, though. Nats can do anything. Already an aggressive start to the round. Camo going looking, and it's the bait and switch, but Camo actually predicts he's ready for Chronicle.
The tough position, Nats, so he's got the close range angle. He's being spotted, the decoy blinds him. Great play by Kayak. They'll get themselves towards the site, but now the rotations are coming in, and there's only 12 seconds to get this spike planted. Pressure, oh, and as Camo picks up 4!
He knows that the majority are locked towards the backside, but they have missed out on Crashies potentially slipping the net. He was looking to just round that backline, but has decided to delay, wait patiently to come back in.
I like the idea from Camo. He faked out that he was the decoy, but he couldn't quite find Chronicle. He was too deep in there. They've got him eventually, though, and Boaster falls with him. Crashy's now up close, finds one. Defuse already up to half, and he knows that that player had to come off the defuse. Biding time here, Kiko trying to force the fight, and he will get the duel eventually, but it's Crashies to clutch it out.
I like the use of the dimensional drift. I think going in this late to a round, you need to know where your opponents are. Kayak trying to make things more awkward. In fact, even looks to try and take the duel. 15 seconds. Nats is the one to find the kill, and even a showstopper thrown in, which does eventually catch out Crashies. 10 seconds. Fnatic have left it so late to try and get something done, but the spam actually helps out, and now needs a little bit more, but straight through the smoke. It will be Nats to take down that planter.
Him on the cross, almost loses his life for his trouble. Kiko under heavy pressure in the backside. There's a response. The shots need to land for Kiko. He'll grab one, 12 seconds again. Time pressure on for Fnatic. Players flooding into the site, the plant being stuck, and it will be acquired, but these players are out in the open, easily taken down by Team Liquid.
I also really like as well the targets that were chosen there by Liquid, because
you saw that.
Evan to cover this off. Snakebite down from Nats. He's getting aggressive, they both are. They're waiting as the smoke fades, and they'll take down Crashies. That's the spike right in front of them. Nats picking them off one by one, and it's a 4-piece already. An ace on the cards. It's Kayak to deny, but the round goes to Liquid anyways.
A great time in terms of individual form, given the speeches as well, but that timing for Crashies was unfortunate. And when you know that your opponents have to sort of run back into your crosshair, of an investment. Nats with a little bit extra on the ghost.
Flash.
Okay then.
Nats doing his best Chronicle impression. It's not quite a classic, but it'll do the job. Oh, this round is far from a certainty for the defenders. In fact, this could be a major upset to the flow of this early half. They could have bridged the gap, but instead they are left miles apart. Team Liquid looking like 8-6 with a big economy boost. This one, they're playing it perfectly. Off Patatek's contact, a big swing, and he doesn't even need any help.
Going into a round where it's like, oh, okay, they went in with a lot of pistols, SMGs, they went in with maybe a shotgun or two. No, they had rifles to play with. They lose an immediate opening duel to Nats with a pistol, which...
They're spotted. Oh, this is it. Nats walking up. They're looking the right way, and he actually gets one before going down. Luckily, Crashies was spotting that area too, but the pressure on now. Rotate in from Kayak. Op is in play, and Crashy stays aggressive. That's a great play to get them the advantage.
He's connected. All three of the remaining players left for them to try and make a move. Liquid need to get into this site. And in fact, they've teleported almost directly onto an opponent. The swing doesn't quite work out though. Crashy's still standing, and Serial once again left to try and clutch things out. But let's be honest, I don't think there's any world in which he manages to get this done, especially now. The time already gone. Crashy's the first point of contact, and he's going to close out as well. Fire is a lot stinkier than we've seen, but we witnessed Liquid win around with just a ghost, so who knows?
Catch Kayak. He's safe, and they think the player backside's the one to worry about, but it's Kayak up close. Good for one. Buys Boaster a bit of time and a 1v1 that he wins out. Damage done. Players holding, clinging onto life. The nade sends them to the other side. It's Panatek alone.
They won't Kiko, and look at the push that's already coming through from Crashies. They have this round sewn up. They know exactly where their opponents are. They've trapped them into the tiniest of boxes. Or maybe if they went vents, there'd be a chance, Mitch, but they're not going vents.
So many things they could have done there, but just sending Alfier to swing out wide.
Backed up.
Boaster's here. He's left that gap in heaven because they're confident that this is the right play, and now it's confirmed. Spike down. 25 seconds, flash out, but it's Kayak to fall. Chronicle not landing his shots either, and now they're wrapping around the side. He deals with that, or tries to, but Camo with another has opened up this site. A plant secured, and a Viper's pit to play inside of Alfier, though. It's a target-rich environment, and he'll find one as Boaster sprays down a double in the elbow. Camo out of that dimension and out of the map as 13 to 10 is locked in. Fnatic take their opponent's map pick, and now just one more to send them to Toronto.
Let's take a look at Agent Select. We will have a Gecko. It will be on Kron. Kayak is on Sage.
But the plant is going to be coming in. Oh, no, it's not.
So you thought. So you thought, but the nade goes in. Now here's the wall. A little bit of safety to get that plant in. An orb, oh, it was not quite thrown through. Boaster falls, Chronicle in the same spot, and it's going to be hard for Kayak to fall back. He has to battle around this wall, and he's doing so with great success. Only one left, and it crumbles just like that. Fnatic 1-0.
The worst thing is as well is they knew exactly where he was. Like, he was stuck behind his own wall, just a crispy couple of shots.
And obviously he has the wall, so he didn't buy himself the Sheriff. And that being recovered over, and it was exactly the tool for the job. Opening duel, yet still their opponents have all their players. And it's Team Liquid on the massive back foot.
This surprise element has also faded because him being up here isn't the biggest shock now that they've left this site for so long. Kayak, immediate trade. Nats does well though. He's given them a chance in this round. It looked like an impossibility. Serial trying to fight on that cross. Still not able to get the plant in. Nats looking to come in from above. Has managed to get another, and Serial's there alongside him.
Pistol. And actually, them stabilizing, now being in a pretty reasonable spot. Camo, I mean, that is not pretty. Caught out by the salvos. His support taken down too as Kiko falls.
Salvos, but that has not worked out at all. The sheer level of aggression is met by the patience of this Fnatic squad, and Alfie already looking comfortable once again. Only Serial standing, and sure, he gets his man and another.
Teaming into the lead, their attack side looking good. And their ultimate economy coming online into this next round. The battle for these orbs is also something that's not too easy to be won out by the other side. The immediate salvos coming through.
That's what I thought, bro. I can stand up. I'm getting a stand-up buff.
Camo goes walking towards yellow. This might be a bit of a nasty surprise, but it has been spotted. Nats going forward, gets, what, seemingly caught, but never mind. He'll find two again. Full.
Time though, 20 seconds, 15 now. And Camo still holding that back yellow. He'll fall. They've got the utility here, sure. No, they've got no utility, in fact. They'll have to deny this just by swinging through the orb. And, well, that was an ambitious play. The jump about 3 rounds in a row now. And the beautiful thing about this is Nats grabs those. There is a flash up top, but it doesn't actually blind them in time into play aggressively. It'll force them way back. And Nano to cover them on the cross. But as you said, the Nano, the other side puts in a lockdown. Luckily, they're able to cancel that out. Now a problem as Nats is stuck on the site, but is the defense going to be good enough to keep him alive? Yes, it is! Serial buys them that little bit of space, and with the pit up, there has to be a response. A pit in the other direction as Boaster will try to starve them of any space to play around, and it looks like it's working! They've ran into Kayak! Things going swimmingly for Fnatic. Finally, the defuse underway. It's halved already. It's getting damn close, but they'll drop it in the end. And now, the remaining players need to get on it fast!
Last player standing.
Down into that 1v1, Nats trying to stick it all the way through the wall. Crashies goes! It's available anymore for Liquid, and only the singular Thrash left remaining for Chronicle. They used absolutely everything to get that 5th round over the line. And even then, it came down to a matter of seconds, and Crashies finding 3. Just an attempt to try and re-aggress before they even get to the site. Spike will be dropped, but Althea responds in kind. Looking for a little more, but Kayak is there. And while only one standing, Camo to face versus 4. It's looking like an even half, but there is still one standing.
Have to get that plant in. Looks like they're deciding to just run it down. It's the right call. They've got the numbers, but it got close. Close as the scoreline in the end. There will be no leader at halftime. 6-6. Hell of a battle. We'll find out how it goes after the break. They're exploiting it immediately, already in kitchen.
There's a lot of players around this spot, but none of them really being able to deny. It comes down to Boaster to try and do the damage. And well, we've spoken a lot this season about his individual level going through the roof. 2 quick kills, and well, Panitek's sneaky play is not as sneaky as he thinks. Kayak watches him all the way and waits for the swing from Serial.
The side split as players funnel through kitchen, but finding the first, second adjusts, and he pre-fires it wonderfully. But Chronicle cleaning up the rest. It was left in pretty safe hands with Kayak. 19-10. Doing well to put them on the back foot in this initial fight. And all Fnatic need to do is trade. Crashies goes down as Serial picks up the double. It's Camo to trade out. And now Fnatic on the back foot. Kayak having to do it all again. But he's got the res to bring Crashies back into play. A valuable player indeed. No ultimate and no salvos just yet. It's all about the swing, and he's caught wall in hand. Panitek does well, and the defuse needing to be stuck at least a half. Crashies gets him, and within just in the nick of time, he'll take it across the line with a Red Bull clutch.
Awkward positions to fight from. Alpha up above has already managed to clear out 2.
Panitek and Kiko to be the one taking these duels. Ult put into play, Nats falls back, but Kiko still close, gets his Blade Storm, but he won't land the shots. Crashies drops him, but the wraparound from Panitek not expected. They are thinning out the herd, leaving it down to just Nats, but he's up close in the pit.
10 seconds left.
Armageddon's gonna win this round. Salvo's already sent through. Here comes Armageddon. It's gonna be a deeper plant, but not deep enough. I think it'll actually just about get in, but they're swinging in for the fight. The battle with the knife to close it out for Chronicle.
It's but even still, what a ludicrous round. But yet that was just perfect from Crashies again. Like, we could talk about the kills, we could talk about that he isn't necessarily on the feed, but he forced them to reposition time and time again. Yeah, I think maybe just a bit of a blip.
What am I doing, bro?
That's the thing. I mean, they can definitely get up there, but they're being slow about it, and there's a player already waiting for that swing. Camo comes out of the ult, no longer detained and able to take down Alphayer. A problem brewing. Crashies finds one, Viper's Pit, but they're on him, straight on him with the shorty. It's denied as Kayak tries desperately to pull this back, but the position of Kiko is too much to handle. Chronicle with it all to do. A 1v2 and a Viper's Pit decaying him down. From the grave, Serial claims the map, and we go all the way to Fracture.
Let's take a look at agent select, and we will not see any changes.
They're so ready for these players pushing towards Dish.
Oh, Kayak certainly is off to a flying start. Not just on the Sage where he shows up, the pistol rounds are his territory. That's a triple with one from Alphayer. It's all on Serial, and it's off him very quickly. In zone, flawless to kick off Fracture.
In this scenario, they had a full setup ready for their opponents to go into Dish, and if you're talking about teams and doing their research, it doesn't get any better than that.
He is in a number of situations where he should be dead to rights. Third time lucky for Fnatic, not quite. Camo's the one taking that. Now coming through the smoke for a little bit more, and he'll catch Boaster. A phenomenal round. He'll finally meet his maker, but around the side is Nats.
And you take out Camo, but your problems have only just begun, because while you're dealing with this maniac running around through smokes.
And a slow creep through to this B site that's been left mostly open, with Crashies trying to grab a bit of information. It comes with a heavy cost. Kayak's on site. This could get dangerous. The smoke has left the planter isolated, but it's Kayak to pick up Kiko. They've now found themselves in a decent spot. The Chronicle's only got a classic. I realize what I'm saying. Chronicle with a classic, it's as dangerous as anyone with an op. And with Alfier in a sneaky spot, if he got that, the round flips on its head, but instead it is Nats on the Vice. You can question the pick, but
already looking to try and get him behind them. In fact, it is a double up both times. Both teams, in fact, doing exactly the same thing. And Alfia is kind of just stuck in no man's land, but just hiding, hoping he gets his gun back.
A Boaster getting destroyed. Right past one goes Camo, and he will be dropped in the end as Alfier finally gets his reward, but they don't know about Kiko, and they find out the hard way. It's Crashies alone.
That was as well, that was Chronicle, right? So that was a lot of your util.
See if it sticks, and speaking of the wall, the Vice wall has to be bypassed. I'll go through it on south side as 3. The A site's already been lost. Trapwire, activate. Good kill for Boaster. They've dodged the ult. Already a decent trade out to start this. Go under pressure, but he's got support. Never mind, he doesn't have any support anymore. That's the rifle putting in work.
Finally, we've seen Crashies in a position where he can do some damage. They've managed to avoid him throughout. Camo, though, still looking to fight, spots out Chronicle and makes it look easy. From a 4v2 to a 2v2, and he's looking for that little bit more. They line up, but he doesn't get anything. Now it's left all on to Panitek, and it's Crashies to drag them through, kicking and screaming.
But it just doesn't seem to matter. Boaster does well at the start, but in this 4v2 that Crashies brought them to, with that initial fight, dodging the trade and then taking them out as his teammates fall.
Boys, let's go.
Well, for Crashies, he seems to be the man of the moment. Well, Kayak has done well. There's so many ults being thrown through. 2-man advantage, but Sight looking to fall. Well, Nats is always careful, but Kiko wasn't. And now Serial, all that remains.
He can have the impact. This time he's right on that horse. Serial being burned out of that position, and he's double flanked on main as he's waiting for these players to overpeak in front of him. They're just waiting for their teammates to come up behind. He's not backing off to play the time to play the ult. He's sitting on the side. He's tanking that utility down to 70 HP. Blinded up as well, and his teammate not quite close enough to the smoke to help out. He'll drop after just one to pressure on to Kiko, but he delivers right when he needs to. One picked up. Chronicle trying to stick it to half. In fact, he's going to get it all the way there. Forces the fight with Kiko. Kiko sees he's not defusing, running this clock down. The time on his side. And the Red Bull clutch found. Team Liquid guaranteeing themselves a lead at the half.
Just that little bit lower. Kayak finally in the right place at the right time, but stunned up, and immediately 2 teammates make that him as well. Gone Panitek again, and even has a little help from Nats.
Armageddon online. And they're just sending it. There's no waiting around. They are gonna blitz him with utility. And Panitek throws himself at it too. Stage 1 last year on the ropes, 4 rounds. And a disadvantage here in the pistol. Kayak, he'd been putting up 3 Ks, 3 in a row, but now he's put to bed early. Damage onto Alfier in this 2 versus 2. Oh, he's almost finished off by Nats, but the wall gets in the way. Still a chance for Fnatic, but time is ticking. They need to force the fight, and Alpha successfully takes Nats out, leaves it onto Serial. He's had a rougher performance so far, but this could be his round to bury the hatchet in the backs of Fnatic. But Alfier bails them out on 15 HP. It's Team Liquid. They're going to be forcing the fight, actually. The salvo is putting them out in the open. There goes one for Nats. Not like this, surely, as Camo falls. The weapon to be recovered up top is nothing really to write home about. Alfier again bailing them out of a bad situation with a quad kill.
I think it was where we were firmly within that chamber meta, and he took over that duelist spot and was frying just the same.
3 out of 5.
Red Bull goes it.
It's traded out quickly with Patatek down and a Rolling Thunder committed to the site. You have to rely on that cross being held by Camo, and he's doing a wonderful job. A double, make that a triple to put double digits on the board for Team Liquid.
The loss with the operator surviving on the site. This time his teammate gets mowed down by a bunch of utility, but he's not there. He's waiting to try and wrap back in. Moves himself to the top of the board for his squad, and well, Fnatic now.
30 seconds.
30 seconds, they're now gonna make their move. Nat's incredibly low, already dealt with. Panatek isn't much healthier. It feels like a lot of this is gonna come down to what Serial can do on this cross. First goes his way, but he's also tagged. The HP firmly in the favor of the Fnatic players as they finally make their way towards the site. But as one of them is planting, the swing is gonna come out, but nobody connecting. In fact, Crashies will find both. They might have been injured, but he had to correct so quickly.
Doubled up, but it doesn't work. He's able to adjust for both kills here.
Get through earlier in the day. Already. Oh, what? There's just a few pieces missing, but it doesn't seem like it. An immediate pop of the ult wasn't even the...
Oh, man. It's going to be a tight margin. Serial under pressure, trying to defend this weapon. And
they need it.
If they lose these weapons, that's going to be a big disadvantage for the next round. For now, at least, they're holding on tight. The stun already subsided. They won't go down to the utility. Liquid, and one final hold for this squad. That is nasty. Flash, orbital strike put into play, though. That's going to force them forward. It forces Camo into their waiting arms. He couldn't get out of there and had to go in deeper. The stun is perfect from Kayak. Sets himself up for success. And the round should be theirs. Serial, he had a shaky start to this map and a chance to recover it all. It's just Nats. 1v2, an ult to be used, to be put into play right in the final round. And that's
single time. But Nats is already repositioned. Chronicle's gonna get isolated though! Maybe thinking it was a little bit deeper, and now 15 seconds, there's not really any time for Boaster to run it back, but he will land the shot anyway! IGL v IGL! Boaster keeps them in the map!
Solve the problem for them. The Razor Vines, the walls set up perfectly. And he was there just in time to catch them. Serial gave them that chance.
Yes, come on,
Oh.
You've not seen that side of Boaster for some time, if at all.
But this is where they do their best work. Both players stunned. Actually, a somewhat isolated Kayak. He has support from Boaster, but it's a little bit further behind. Needs to find a fight, and he gets it. That's Nat's gone.
Leaded from the round, indeed. Coming from the smokes, though, is Kiko to level the playing field. Chronicle manages to answer back north side, carve out some control of their own. Not wanting to go up the rope and into heaven. They're waiting for a peek. They're waiting, knowing Team Liquid will look for information and knowing their utilities coming online soon. Both come into play at exactly the right moment. And with Panatek falling, the round is there for Fnatic. Seconds on the clock. Rotate comes back in. 4 players here to work with. Stuns go through, so do the salvos, but Nat still has a safe angle. They might not expect that. They've seen him now. Boaster and Chronicle finding 2. This could be it. The final domino set to fall. Team Liquid dig deep with Panatek on 1, but he's immediately traded out. It's Camo who has to find success. The spike right in front of him, and now on the floor. Alphayear has to move back to get it. Camo in his way, but it will fall! A red ball clutch from Alphayear to send Fnatic to Toronto!
Right from the depths of defeat. We have talked about this roster and their resilience throughout the history of this squad. 2023, they made their name. Go back to Lock-in where they were dead and buried and came back to win a title. In this series, there's been multiple moments where it looked like they were done.